Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. It's your brother King Cam, and welcome back to the Campaign TV show. What I want you all to do is I want you to like, I want you to share, I want you to comment, engage in the comment section. And if you're joining us on YouTube, I need you to hit that bell, stay notified each and every time we drop a video. But welcome back. Tonight, we're going to be discussing President Joe Biden's comments about those who are receiving unemployment and not going to work. Joe had a very powerful message about those people who are not working and what they need to be doing. And we're going to go over that clip. We're going to talk about, some of our perspective on it. We're going to talk about, is it good? What's the message is he saying? Is it suitable? You understand me? We're going to go into all of that. But first, let's go ahead and drop this track. Family, it's 400 years. Shout out to my brother, Ben X. Tap in.
Willing to go back and cut no underbrush? We already did that once.
Yeah, make sure you tapping in.
To do it again, that's not progress. Hell no. Get out of the cities and the towns.
It's your brother King Cam.
You go and find some other state to move.
Let's do it.
You move out, we move in. Now wait a minute.
Teach, leader.
Come on, Farrakhan, that's a factory. Well, damn, you better put it in your pipe then.
400 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking we active. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking we active. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. The youth don't need a stun double. Introduce them to the real thing. Gotta tell them about the hidden hand. Real talk, that's the real bang. Introduce you to the white man. Think you made it, that's the real pain. Then I let you see a white snake and you can't see they the same thing. Get your bread, yeah, build your business. Hidden hand in the same lane. Keep a slaves in a small cell. Tell a young nigga bang bang. Shoot first, ask questions later. Two brothers in the same game. Fuck that like fuck crack. Big dog like a Great Dane. 400 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking we active. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it. Waking up now, we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping. 400 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking we active. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you. Now I go get it and stack it.
Yeah.
Now we don't need no more trapping. Cause we know these niggas acting. They talk about guns, we know that they capping. We know they got it all rapping.
Hey, hit that comment section. Comment where you from. What city, what town.
Free, do for self like Elijah said. Fire him
Before he fired me
eat good, he the man of God. Ain't falling
for the vaccine.
Up late, playing plotting freedom. Still building, no caffeine. Better tune in to Farrakhan, cause this here
It's a marathon.
build now, getting real now. Witness the fall
of Babylon.
Black man, you the first man. Getting tricked by mankind. If we unite and rise up, we'll win
Every damn time.
100 years we've been lacking reactive. Ain't no more lacking
yeah.
reactive. We standing up now, we up at it, we at you.
Yeah, family, that's what it is. That's my brother Ben X, 400 years. You can make sure you can tap into his social media platforms. I think it's brother Ben X Music, and you can get that hot record, featuring the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on the beginning of that joint. So it's hot. You see, I got my fatigue on. Today because we're going to be discussing the war that we in. Now, most of the time when we come onto the platform and we discuss these different topics, we already know that we at war. But I wore the camouflage just to make it plain today about the increasingly and ever so blatant war that the black man and black woman is under right here in America, family. So I want you to get interactive in this comment section. We are going to be discussing Joe Biden's words to those who are using unemployment as a crutch and not going back to work. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? What are your thoughts? We're going to give some perspective on it. So I want you to like, I want you to share it, I want you to comment, and I want you to get this thing out of here. So we're going to go ahead and pull up this clip by Joe as he talked about the unemployment benefits. All right, because let me put this up. Yeah. So, and I think it's very important that we go ahead and talk about this, family, because a lot of people we know or don't know of maybe receiving these unemployment benefits. And, Joe got a plan for that. So let's listen to his words. Let's listen to his words and see what he has to say, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give my commentary on it. So just bear with me for a minute while I get this pulled up. Share my screen. Yes. Share. And then we want to go here. Yeah, family, it's good to be back. Good to be back on the show, tapping in with the family. Always a beautiful thing. All right. So make sure we share the audio. I always got to make sure I hit that share audio button, because if not going to be able to hear the words. All right. So boom, share. All right. And we're going to full screen that thing up there like that. And we're going to let it rock. All right, Joe, what you got for us?
We're going to make it clear that anyone collecting unemployment who is offered a suitable job must take the job or lose their unemployment benefits. There are a few COVID-19 related exceptions, so that people aren't forced to choose between their basic safety and a paycheck. But otherwise, that's the law. I know there's been a lot of discussion since Friday's report, that people are being paid to stay home rather than go to work. Well, we don't see much evidence of that. I think the people who claim Americans won't work, even if they find a good and fair opportunity, underestimate the American people. So we'll insist that the law is followed with respect to benefits, but we're not going to turn our backs on our fellow Americans. 22 million people lost their jobs in this pandemic through no fault of their own. They lost their jobs to a virus and to a government that bungled its response to the crisis and failed to protect them. We still have 8 million fewer jobs than we did when the pandemic started. And for many of those folks, unemployment benefits are a lifeline. No one should be allowed to game the system, and we'll insist the law is followed, but let's not take our eye off the ball. Families who are just trying to put food on the table, keep a roof over their head, they aren't the problem. We need to stay focused on the real problems in front of us, beating this pandemic and creating jobs. The American Rescue Plan is just that, a rescue plan. It's to get us out of the crisis and back on the track, but it's not nearly enough. That's why we need the American Jobs Plan, which is an 8-year investment, strategy to make sure working people of this country get to share in the benefits of a rising economy, and to put us in a position to win the competition with China and the rest of the world for the 21st century. That's the next stage. That's what we're doing right now. We're working to get that passed.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to pick up a camera or use any fancy editing software. With Doodly, you drag, you drop.
All right, family. So y'all heard it straight from the horse's mouth there. Y'all heard it straight from the horse's mouth there. President Joe Biden. Now, we're going to go back over some of the stuff that he said in respect to the unemployment and to the job. So really what this is about is he's saying that those who have been receiving unemployment should be actively looking and should be accepting suitable jobs instead of staying home and receiving unemployment. And you have those in politics, specifically on the right wing, that stated that there should never have been the continuation of the unemployment, because you would have this happening. You would have people that were making more on unemployment than they did at their regular job. So mathematically, it makes no sense to go back to work. But let me ask you something, Joe. President Joe Biden, let me be respectful. Let me be respectful now. Always got to be respectful. President Joe Biden, you are the one that have a 40-plus year track record of harmful policy that affected the Black and brown community. You are the one who authored the crime bill, the 94 crime bill, that was part and parcel very instrumental in mass incarceration. you are him. And then your vice president is one who has locked up many black men in the state of California. And now you want to come to us and talk about finding suitable jobs instead of receiving the unemployment. Now, he mentioned the fact that this is a rescue plan. It's not something that's long-term and sustainable. So we understand that part. But at the same time, we have to look at those who are the ones that are giving us these orders and these instructions, family. It's very important that we listen to what we are being told by these politicians. The words that they say matter. Words matter. And it's very, very important because you have to look at the grand scheme of things, okay? The American economy is falling apart. The American economy is broke. If you are a person who is into investing, a person who has been watching the landscape as it pertains to stocks, if you've been watching the market, if you are into crypto, then you see the danger that the American dollar is under with all of these advancements being made in the crypto space. With all of these retail companies moving to exchange and accept crypto as a way of payment, that means the American dollar is in trouble. So if the American dollar is in trouble, then that means the way that the economy has been ran for years, decades, and centuries is in trouble. So that essentially means that those who are in power right now, their overall rulership is in power. You didn't hear what I said. I said that the overall leadership who has ruled under their wicked ways under this American dollar is in trouble of losing their empire and their power being broken. That's ready to happen right now. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught us this when he said the American dollar would fall. He talked about the fall of the dollar. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad talked about this in Fall of America. So we have been taught by our great spiritual giants and our great spiritual leaders of this time and what to look for during this time. America is falling, family. America is on her way down. Why? Due to her wickedness. So what you seeing today with the economy being so shaky, people not going back to work, do you understand the power that we really hold? So what Joe Biden is saying, President Joe Biden is asking that the workers go back to work because a capitalistic society built on the backs of its poor and oppressed people cannot sustain itself if you don't have no workers. So now all of these different companies are experiencing shortages. They're having experiences and shortages in their services. You know, I was in the process. I had some packages that was supposed to be delivered by FedEx, and it hasn't been delivered yet. And one of the things that I was discussing was the fact that the services had been slowed down. And I actually talked to a brother that works at FedEx, and he was telling me the reason why they are having so many issues is because they don't have people to work in their hubs. They don't have drivers to drive their trucks. They don't have enough manpower to operate to get the packages out on time. Did you hear me? They don't have any bodies. They don't have no workers, family. So if they don't have any workers, what does that mean? What is that telling you? That is telling you that the economy is changing. So what should we be doing? What should we be doing as a collective so that we do not get comfortable? Because yes, those bills still have to be paid. Yes, that rent, that mortgage still has to be paid. So to those of us who have been living off of the fact that they were not calling you about late rent, they was not calling you about a backed up mortgage, they was not pressing you on your bills and late notices and giving out any turn off notices, that's about to come to an end. So the best thing for us is to have a plan B that we was already working to guarantee the success of our plan A if it was to ultimately separate ourselves from the plantation. Because the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad quoted this: do for self or suffer the consequences. I'm going to say it one more time. Do for self or suffer the consequences. And what we are seeing now is the consequences of us not utilizing the opportunity that we have had during this COVID pandemic. Well, Brother King Cam, what opportunity was that? the opportunity was for all of the money that has been dumped back into the economy, starting with President Donald Trump and the first stimulus checks that were given to the people. So that was the first portion of money being dumped back into the market. Then you have the new administration that comes in. President Joe Biden comes in. They issue another stimulus check. On top of that, they issue relief to all businesses and small business owners in the way of PPP loans and grants. So you have free money being put back into the economy, to the people's hands, for you to be able to make it through the quote unquote pandemic. But this was an opportunity for us to use that money. Those of us who said that we did not have funding to start a business, Allah gave you funding. God gave you funding by way of the U.S. government. But the question is, what did you do with it? Did you go out and buy Jordans? Did you go out to eat? Did you go on trips back and forth to Miami? Did you do all of those different things that was not productive in your business with the money? Or did you use it as an opportunity to get ahead? Did you use it as an opportunity to make sure you paid those bills, to make sure you stayed on top of things, because you knew that a time was coming when these different programs in place would come to an end? It wasn't going to stay like that, because America has to sustain itself. This is why a lot of the right-wing politicians have been moving to try to reopen states fully. They're trying to get restaurants back open to the full capacity. Airlines now are moving back to full capacity. Delta was one airline that was not operating with booking their whole all of their flights, right? They wasn't booking them to capacity because they was allowing people to allowing for people to have a free seat in the middle so you can keep the distance. Well, now Delta is going back to booking at full capacity. So they're trying to open up because they're losing money. They're like a ship with a hole in it. America is like a ship with a hole in it, losing water, sinking fast. This is what you're saying today. So when you see President Joe Biden saying that people need to go back to work, he's not talking about going back to work for your benefit. He's talking about going back to work for the United States government benefit. And those who are in power are losing power because the economy is falling. And now you have no way to oppress the people if you cannot put them in jobs and use them as slaves. Ooh, that's a heavy one, because what do? Ever since their history on our planet, they have taken indigenous, aboriginal, original people and used them as tools and slaves. And they have done it by keeping you illiterate. And they've done it in very systematic ways. In the beginning, they just was flat out physically taking you from one place, forcibly moving you to another place, putting you in chains, putting you in shackles, and beating you into submission. Okay, that was how they started. But then they said, okay, we cannot continue to do that outright. So then they had to change the way that they did it. So you went into Jim Crow, Reconstruction, black codes, redlining. They started to create policy. They started to create policy and laws that kept you enslaved mentally and socially and economically, where they could not keep you slaved physically. Come on now. So why say go back to work? No, I'm not saying go back to work. I'm saying you need to have a plan so that you have an exit strategy moving forward. Whether it means that you take that money and have started a business, you need to make sure that you have enough money stashed aside for 6 months to a year, because you still have bills that come in every 30 days. Even if you are opening up a business, you still should be working a job, because unless you started off booming, unless your business already started off with 100, 200, 300 sales, like you popping like that, you're not making enough money to cover your bills. So the whole purpose of starting a business is not to chase the bread to pay bills. That's counterproductive. You are starting a business for it to eventually grow so that it take care of your bills, your household, maintains your lifestyle, and then some. Because you have to take some money, put it back into the business. You have to do all of these different things. Eventually, if you want to expand and grow, then you want to hire people. So that's what the money for your business is for. So you have to be able to sustain your lifestyle. You have to. So I know how it is to run a business. And I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I ain't working for no white folks. I'm about to go out here and do my thing. And it's not going to work like that. You have to go through the process. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave us a process called the still away method. He says still away. What does that mean? That don't mean go out here and be no thief. That don't mean go out here and rob nothing, take nothing from nobody. No, what the still away method is, the still away method is for you to work your job to maintain your lifestyle. Then in the process of you doing that, any extra money, we not spending it on no Jordans. Any extra money, we not spending it on no extra trips. We not spending it on nothing extracurricular. Only thing that we're doing is we taking that bread and we are putting it into our business. We're working our business on the side, using that money from the job to sustain ourselves. Anything extra is going back into the side hustle to the business. Until when? Until the business has the ability to sustain us, where then we can come up off that job. See, that's wise, righteous wisdom and gems that the minister has given us so that we can properly remove ourselves from the plantation. But if you don't have a plan B, if your business is not able to sustain you right now, then you need to be going somewhere to work. And continuing to wait on the government, continuing to wait on white people to do for you what you have the ability to do for yourself is going to get you in trouble. We've been warned now. The problem is we hard-headed. You hard-headed. You want to continue to play around with the unemployment. You want to continue to sit around on the couch and play PlayStation and Grand Theft. You want to continue to sit around and smile and joke and cheese like it's all good, but you don't understand that these people don't have your best interest. So they're going to pull that unemployment from up underneath you in a second. And if you haven't been staying on top of your bills, if you haven't been staying on top of the things that you need to, thinking everything's sweet, they're going to start sending letters to you with a big old balance on it. They say, hey, you owe us 10 racks. You're a year behind in mortgage, year behind in the rent. You ain't paid the electric bill. You ain't paid the water bill. See, you think stuff sweet. It ain't really that sweet though. Shout out to Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi in the building. It was somebody else in here. I believe it was Florida in here as well. Shout out to you all. Yes, we should prepare for our exodus. The time is now, and there will be no better time than this. Absolutely, because it's a market full of money if you know. Skills pay the bills. That's a tweet. Skills pay the bills, family. Philly in the building. Skills pay the bills. So I'm going to give you this scenario. So then therefore, when somebody like Joe Biden talks about you having to go back to work and you not the one that want to really go back to work like that, you ain't trying to be on the plantation, here's your second option. Your second option is for you now to go and develop you a skill that will allow you to pay the bills. Well, what does that mean? That means if you look at it in basketball terms, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, why did they get the ball so much? Because they had the most and best skills on the team. So what? They was fed the basketball constantly. Well, if the basketball is currency, if basketball is the money, if the ball is the money, and the best player on the team who has the most skills gets the ball the most, what does that mean? That means if you are the best person with the skills to create or to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to do, then that means the currency or the ball will be given to you more often. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Because money's meant to move. And money's going to move in the direction of those who demand the currency. You didn't hear what I said. I said the money is meant to move, and the money will move towards those who demand the currency. You got to put yourself in demand. Oh, that's a word for you, family. You got to put yourself in demand. So you got to figure out problems. People put problems on Facebook all day long. Figure out a problem, family, and then be the solution. That's a business. It's businesses out here that don't have websites. Learn how to make websites. It's businesses out here that are trying to get onto social media, trying to get apps. Become an app developer. There are different things that can be done through coding, whether it's creating video games, whether it's creating crypto blockchain technology that's necessary for you to be able to trade crypto, to invest in crypto, to create these different platforms. As such as wallets and all of these different things that are necessary because crypto is becoming in demand. Crypto is becoming in demand. They got crypto ATM machines. They got Visas back in crypto. You have a bunch of Fortune 500 companies that are now dumping money, so much money into crypto. That's why Bitcoin was able to rise. That's why Bitcoin was able to rise to where it's at now, over $50,000 per coin. You got Ethereum that's on the rise, over $4,000 per coin. You have all of these different cryptocurrencies now that are coming into play because the world is moving towards a more digital platform. And then, of course, you have your commodities with your gold and your silver. I got silver coins, and I wish I had them right here in front of me so I can show them to you next time on the show. I'll show you the silver coins. But you always have to make sure that you have those commodities as well. So you should have investments in gold. You should have silver. You should have crypto. And you should have life insurance. These are the number 4. These are the 4 things that you must have as a black family in America. I'm going to say it again. You must have gold. You must have silver. You must have crypto. And you must have a life insurance. These are the things that help solidify and guarantee your generational wealth. That's a fact. And then after that, you got to have the family structure. You have to have your structure in place. You got to have your LLCs, your trusts. You have to have all these things in place so that you can shelter the bread and it's not taxed by the government. Because see, when the taxes come, they come and they rape all of the bread that you have. So for those of us who have money in CDs or money in 401ks, when you go to take that money out, they are looking to rape you in the taxes. They looking to rape you in the taxes. That's why it's important that you understand the power of the different shelters, family. Because the shelters are what's going to allow you to keep the taxes up off your back. So, Joe Biden is saying, listen, unemployed, got to go back to work. Because we can't allow you to continue to sit on the couch and collect this money. So for those of you that are just coming in, shout out to those who watching the Campaign TV show. We appreciate the support. Make sure that you like, make sure you share, get in the comment section. Let's get interactive. If you're joining us from YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified each and every time we drop a video. We appreciate you. I'm going to play this back. Joe Biden talking about the unemployed must take suitable jobs if offered. What are you saying, Joe? Let's listen. Ooh, hold up. I got to cue this. Bear with me. Bear with your brother. Got to cue it for the new folks that's in here. Let's listen what Joe got to say. All right, talk to us, Joe. Talk to us, J Money.
We're going to make it clear that anyone collecting unemployment who is offered a suitable job must take the job or lose their unemployment benefits. There are a few COVID-19 related exceptions, so that people aren't forced to choose between their basic safety and a paycheck. But otherwise, that's the law. I know there's been a lot of discussion since Friday's report, that people are being paid to stay home rather than go to work. Well, we don't see much evidence of that. I think the people who claim Americans won't work, even if they find a good and fair opportunity, underestimate the American people. So we'll insist that the law is followed with respect to benefits, but we're not going to turn our backs on our fellow Americans. 22 million people lost their jobs in this pandemic through no fault of their own. They lost their jobs to a virus and to a government that bungled its response to the crisis and failed to protect them. We still have 8 million fewer jobs than we did when the pandemic started. And for many of those folks, unemployment benefits are a lifeline. No one should be allowed to game the system. And we'll insist the law is followed, but let's not take our eye off.
All right, Joe. Joe talking about nobody should be allowed to game the system, even though that's how they was able to get ahead in this country, by gaining the system, right? So it's funny when the rabbit has the gun, President Joe. But listen, so this is what we got going on. Let's see what the comment section is. I remember when COVID first been announced in March 2020 and the government was giving them stimulus checks, I didn't know if I was going to have a job. So I invested some of my stimulus money towards my shirt business and been doing good ever since. See, praise be to Allah. That's what I'm talking about. Using this as an opportunity. Using that as an opportunity for you to better yourself, better your situation. But those of us who's going to hang out in Miami and to rent slingshots and to try to ride up and down Collins, you know, that's not going to do you no good in the future. See, that's why in the ABS tribe, we talk about assets before splurging. That's why it's called ABS, assets before splurging, not splurging before the assets. So you take the money, purchase assets that will attribute to your splurging later on down the line. But you don't take the money, splurge, don't bring you no benefit back. Then at the end, you trying to find different assets that's going to help sustain the lifestyle. Not that don't work like that. You have to follow the law. You have to follow the process, family. So Joe just told you that the law is if you are receiving the unemployed benefit, then you need to be going back to work. Let's hear it again.
We're going to make it clear that anyone collecting unemployment who is offered a suitable job must take the job or lose their unemployment benefits.
See what he's telling you? You must take the job or lose your unemployment benefits. Well, I don't want to take no job that's paying me less than what my unemployment benefits is giving me. That doesn't make sense. I agree with you 110%, family. So what do you have to do then? Because see, these people that you see on this screen, they're not playing with you. They real gangsters, and they're going to prove their point. They're going to make themselves valid in what they're saying. So what does that mean? That means what you need to be doing then is you need to be creating a job for yourself. So as Brother Mike mentioned, he took the money from his stimulus, invested in his t-shirt business, and had been going hard ever since. Going hard, making sure that he's getting a sale a day. Going hard every day, making sure he's creating some type of content to try to promote his business. If you ever notice, if you watch TV, McDonald's don't take one day off promoting Big Macs. If you watch TV, Best Buy not taking a day off promoting you a new TV. You understand? If you're into sports and you're watching the NFL, the NBA, Kia not taking no days off promoting the car. The Coors Lights commercials are not being ran every other day. They being ran every day. Do you hear what I'm saying? You, me, have to be that dedicated in pushing our own product if we want to start our own business. Because if not, you're going to have to take your happy butt back to somebody's job. Because they're not playing when it comes to making sure that they can try to go down swinging. If their economy is falling, they going down swinging. They're going to try to take each and every one of us with them. They're going to try to take each and every one of us with them. So what did the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad warn us of 50 years ago? Do for self or suffer the consequences. So he gave us the blueprint, though. He gave us the blueprint. He said that we have to pool our resources together. Find 6 to 7 like-minded individuals, pool your resources together, and work cheerfully and do something for yourself. That's what you have to do. You have to not only just pool your resources together physically, but mentally and financially as well. Because one person might not have the funds. You understand me? They might not have the funds to be able to pool in on the financial tip, but they got the experience that can help you in that industry. They might have been working in that industry for a while, and they have the experience that the people that have the money don't. Oh, one person might have some cash, but the other person got the credit. See, you have to be able to utilize all of the gifts and talents that you have available to you so that you're able to do something for yourself. But you got to be able to unify. You have to get with other people because one person not going to be able to do it. You see these big conglomerates out here, it's not just one person that's doing that. Walmart is not just a one-person show. It's a conglomerate of individuals. Walmart has a board. There's a conglomerate of My bad, y'all. I took myself out the studio. But it's a conglomerate. So we have to be thinking in the same capacity. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, under the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, quoted the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and said, study the white man. He makes no excuses for his failures. And he is successful at what he does. So we have to do the same. You do the same. Study the white man, not sit up here and talk about how bad he is, but you're not learning nothing from him because he's successful in what he does. He's built the whole world. There's a lot that you can learn from the white man. You just have to use it for righteousness and not for wickedness. That's the whole key. That's right. We have to have unity. We must have unity. So Joe said, if you're not going to take that job, we're not going to let you continue to collect these unemployment benefits. So they putting a system in place to know if you're working or not. That's what that means. That means you're not going to be able to sit back and people like, oh, well, how he going to know? Oh, they working on a system now to know. For him to step out and say such bold words, then they're creating a system so they'll be able to check on the back end based on your social security number, probably, if you're working somewhere or not. Because they'll know how to cut the faucet off for the unemployment. Trust and believe.
There are a few COVID-19 related exceptions, so that people aren't forced to choose between their basic safety and a paycheck. But otherwise, that's the law. I know there's been a lot of discussion since Friday's report, that people are being paid to stay home rather than go to work. Well, we don't see much evidence of that. I think the people who claim Americans won't work, even if they find a good and fair opportunity, underestimate the American people. So we'll insist that the law is followed with respect to benefits, but we're not going to turn our backs on our fellow Americans. 22 million people lost their jobs in this pandemic through no fault of their own. They lost their jobs to a virus and to a government that bungled its response to the crisis and failed to protect them. We still have 8 million fewer jobs than we did when the pandemic started. And for many of those folks, unemployment benefits are a lifeline.
All right, so they throw around these numbers as if they are significant when it comes to the whole population of the United States of America. There are 350 million people on and in the United States of America. Okay, that's the United States population. 350 million. So you're talking to me about 22 million jobs. 8 million less than the pandemic. Is like, okay, so what dent is that making? And what in what nation is that making a dent in? Not in this one. Not in the United States. Because again, you have 350 million people who live here. 40 to 50 million are black people. So that leaves you now with another 300 million that are European or other. You understand me? And you talking about 22 million jobs that was lost, 8 million less in the pandemic. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you don't have all of those people that are not a part of the workforce. So say if you took half of the black population, again, 40 to 50 million black people in America, you take half of that, you have about 20 to 25 million black people that's working. And then you have to split the other 300 in half. So that's 150. That's 150 plus the 25. So you're talking about 175 million people who need a job. I'm just guesstimating, but obviously you have 85% of the people who are working. 85%. But we also have to consider who is the basic American. Absolutely. We know they're not talking to us. That's the thing. Shonday, I think that's how you pronounce it, Shonday. That's the thing. They're not really talking to us. Akira, they're not really talking to us because we know that we're not a part of their basic American, the Americans, all of that kind of stuff. To people like the president and those who are in leadership and in power, have a little bit of power, because they're not even the most powerful ones, but have a little bit of power or in privileged positions, they're not really talking about us. They done cut us loose a long time ago. They're not worried about the 40 to 50 million black people with the 22 million Indians. They're not worried about that. I mean, with the 17 million, with the 17 million Indians, they're not concerned about us like that. That's why we have to start to be concerned with ourselves. Does that make sense? Does it make sense why we have to begin to think in a way that we cannot continue to depend on the government to do anything for us? We should not depend on them to feed us. We shouldn't depend on them to educate our children. We shouldn't depend on them for their healthcare system, because we see how trash and garbage that is. Their healthcare system is not to improve your quality of life. Their healthcare system works in tandem with the agriculture and the food to keep you in a cycle of degenerative health, unhealthy lifestyle until you meet your maker, until you hit the dirt. They keep you in the cycle of eating unhealthy and then sending you to their medical facilities to prescribe you medications that only help you deal with the symptoms, not cure the symptoms, to alleviate your issues, but to keep sending you back and forth to these systems to continue to suck the money out of your pockets. Then they give you insurance just so the insurance can turn around and pay them the money. Then they turn around and pay the insurance. It's a game. It's a big game. This is the society that we live in, because none of these problems require no bachelors and no doctorates and no PhDs, no big degrees to fix. It's not that difficult. It's really common sense when you're talking about. You're talking about dealing with the crime. See, crime goes down when economics go up. People commit crimes because the economics is low. The reason why people are out here committing robberies, committing all types of scams and frauds is because they don't have no money. And I'm talking about us. I'm not talking about them, because see, they commit crimes because they want more money. They never have enough. It's always greed. It's greed with them. So they can be millionaires and still be out here running Ponzi schemes for more millions because they can never have enough. They always need more. They always have to have more. And it comes from the mindset of thinking that they're better. So because they think that they're better, they have to have more than you. You and I are the original. So because they think that they are better than the original, then they must have more than the original. So they continue to have that, and sometimes it works against their own well-being. You understand? And they'll outdo themselves. That's why you have your Bernie Madoffs of the world that steal all this money, and then, they get a little time and they continue to do what they do. But I digress. This world is pitiful in the way that it operates, because at the end of the day, it's not one that's set up for you to have a functioning lifestyle where you blossom and live. This is a world where you survive and die. You barely make it. They feed you an American dream that hardly 85% of the people never attain. You survive. You happy whatever it is that you get. You happy whatever crumbs from the master's tables. Think about this now. Think about this. You happy with the crumbs from the master's table until you are on your way 6 feet under, and they've been feeding you this religion telling you when you get to the dirt that there's a better life on the other side. I mean, just think about this. This is the way that they brainwashed us now. They got you thinking that there's some mystery God sitting up in heaven somewhere with a better life for you. And this is why it's so beautiful what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gave us in the teaching of Master Fard Muhammad. Because when Master Fard Muhammad came, he killed the idea of there being any place called heaven other than here on earth. I want you to understand what I'm saying. There is no other place called heaven that is not on the earth. That's why in the scripture it says, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. As it is in heaven, family. See, earth and heaven have a relationship. So your heaven is to be made on the earth while you live. Nothing will be given to you once you die. It's over. It's over with. And if you think I'm joking, go ask your dead homies. Ain't none of them ever came back to tell you how sweet the other side was. So if you want to continue to go through this life surviving and just thinking that there's some promise or some heaven somewhere with some golden gates and some, I don't know what else is going on. But if you think that's happening, then you just wait on it. Because I guarantee you, any of your dead homies will tell you, bro, this ain't where it's at. Because if it was, then why you wasting time being here? You might as well just go ahead and jump in the grave tonight. You might as well make it happen. You might as well just go ahead and play in traffic. Go ahead. Hurry up and get to the better life, if it is. If you really felt that way. You see what I'm saying? You see where the oxymoron is in that? Sounds like Lazarus to me. Come on now. Begging for the crumbs from his master's table. That's it. That's it. Lazarus begging for the crumbs of his master's table. So the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said this, and the minister has taught us this, that Lazarus is not just a person. Lazarus is a people. Lazarus is a people. He is the example styled in the scripture of a people who would continue to beg at the feet and at the end of the master's table for the little crumbs that they give. Instead of getting up and doing something for yourself after the master has freed you, he's untied you, he has unstrung you and said, go, be free, and you still hanging out with your oppressor and with your master. That is exactly what Lazarus is. See, we just got to bring it right on down to the modern times. Lazarus is a people. And Lazarus was a dead people, a non-productive people, a people with no movement, until the light came in the form of the word, in the form of Jesus, who came and said that Lazarus wasn't dead. Lazarus was just asleep. See, the Christians missed that. Christians missed that. They said that Lazarus wasn't dead. The brother was just asleep. Oh, so what does the scripture say? There's a lion asleep in Judah. Who will wake him? Huh? So to all of my brothers that's in the lodge, you already know that, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Hiram was hit in the head by three ruffians. Huh? Who was Hiram? An architect, a builder. For King Solomon's temple. And was what? Beat in the head by three ruffians and then carried on a westerly course, into the what? Northern country. And right in his shallow grave was a Cassius that grew, and the only one that could wake him is one with a lion's grip. Oh, come on now. I'm talking to my brothers and sisters in the lodge right now. One with a lion's grip that can get him up out of that shallow grave, family. So you're not dead in the sense of the word, but you are asleep. You've been hit in the head and knocked unconscious, asleep, and also styled as dead. Why? Because unproductive. One who is dead does not have the ability to dress themselves. One who is dead doesn't have the ability to feed themselves. One who is dead doesn't have the ability to create and to produce anything for themselves because you're not conscious. Death is a state of unconsciousness. I'm talking to somebody tonight. So Lazarus is the people. And it's describing us, black people in America, because we have been hit in the head. We have been knocked unconscious. We have been made into a dead people who don't produce nothing, who sit around waiting at the master's table to give us the little crumbs that he has. So Joe Biden is telling you, these little crumbs of unemployment, we about to take them back. See, they done already freed you, black man. They done gave you your bachelor's. They done gave you all your degrees. They done taught you how to build systems. They done taught you how to build cities and maps and run governments. They done gave you everything that you need. They done told you how they feel about you by kicking you out of Starbucks, putting you out of Waffle House, disrespecting your women, killing your children. They telling you how they feel about you. They want you out of their house, and they telling you you could be free. You still sticking around. You still trying to hang out with the Democratic Party. Still trying to hang out with white folks. And you still trying to get them to see you as a human being. Which is fine if that's what you want to dedicate your time and effort to. But the rest of us, we don't got time to wait. We'll be around here another 1,000 years sitting around here trying to use that same method. So no, what we're about to do is we're about to prepare ourselves for our exodus. And we're going to be making our way to build our own new world. That don't mean you hate white people. That don't mean you want to be segregated. That just means you want to be separated. So for those who have children and your children are not getting along, what do? You tell them, hey, y'all need to go separate yourselves. Go to your own separate spaces. You go to your room, you go to your room. And you chill out for a minute. And then once you're able to play with each other properly, then you can come back and hang out together. So that's all it is. We just got to separate ourselves so we can deal with our mental traumas, so we can deal with the male and female relationships. The black woman and the black man have to be repaired so that we can have healthy homes, because we know that family is the cornerstone of nation. You can't build a nation if you don't have strong family units. So we have to rebuild the black family. We have to deal with the trauma that we done and hurt that we have inflicted and pain on each other. We got to deal with that. We have to deal with the psychological trauma that white folks done put us through. 310 years of slavery. They put you to work for 310 years. Do you know how much money I would have if I put you to work for 365 days and kept your pay? If I put you to work for 365 days and didn't pay you, you know how much money I would have. So just think about how much money they had and started out with when they put you to work and your children to work and your children's children to work and your children's children's children to work for 310 years of physical slavery. And then after they had reaped all of that benefit, they decided to let you go. But they was already super, pockets had the mumps, big mumps, like for real. So this is a part of our history that we have to really understand, that we have to come into the proper knowledge of, because they're really trying to erase it out of the history books, family. They're trying to rearrange, reword, retell the story of black people in America, and we can't allow them to do that. So to all of my Jewish family, they don't let nobody rewrite, retell, re-rock the Jewish Holocaust. You understand me? Because it would be doing every Jewish person a disservice to not understand what happened to them and to understand their true heritage, family. We have to do the same. So it's our time now. It's time for us to rise from the ashes of what America has done and is still doing to us, and to come out of it with great substance if we pool our resources together, unite, and seek God first in everything that we do. The scripture in the book of Matthew says that seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all its righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So when you go into your particular field that God has blessed you with a gift in, you go after that gift with the mindset of a servant. How can I serve the kingdom of God and all his righteousness? That's the way that you go into all of your endeavors, and then what? All these things shall be added unto you, because Master Fard Muhammad told us, promised us money, good homes, luxury, friendships, and all walks of life. So it's already promised to you, family. You just have to do the right thing, have the right mindset, and go after what it is that you say is yours, family, because the God is with you, the God is with us, but we have to get up and do something for ourselves, family. So I thank you for listening. I pray that Allah continues to bless you with the light of understanding. Thank you for tuning in to the Campaign TV show tonight. I am your brother, King Cam, and for all of you who are new, listen, you want to make sure you tapped in. We got the show. It's on different platforms right now. I didn't even run the banner tonight. This how eager I was to come on and get you and talk to you all tonight. I didn't even run the banner at the bottom for you to be able to donate to the Campaign TV show. So if you would like to donate, if you found anything here that was valuable, if I talked about something that you could use to pass on a good word to the family, go to the bottom. You see at the bottom of the screen, it's scrolling how you able to donate. You can send donations in via Cash App, or you can send them in via PayPal. They are all very much appreciated, family, so that we're able to keep the show going. And again, to continue to add value as well. For those who have purchased the book, I have a new book. It's called The Enemy is the Enemy. And we have been taking pre-orders for the book. Originally, we were supposed to start shipping out on 4/30. Then we had to push the date back to 5/11. And what the holdup is that a lot of these print companies that print a lot of physical copy books are back ordered. A lot of them are slow. A lot of them don't have the manpower to fulfill orders. So a lot of them are back ordered. So our original batch of books that I purchased at the beginning of April is still on back order. And that's why we haven't been able to send out any books. So what we're working on in the process of trying to find another printer, family, is we're going to be looking to send you all those who have already pre-ordered their physical copy will be receiving a email copy of the ebook. All right, you're going to be receiving an email copy of the ebook so you can begin to start reading the book. It will be an ebook completely free. It will be coming straight to your email for you to be able to go ahead and tap in that way. And then we're also going to be looking at other ways that we can add value to those who supported the book as well. So I just want you to know that you appreciate it. And I want you to really know what's going on, because I have to order mine. Absolutely, sis. Right now, I'm not promoting the book as far as doing any sales, because I don't want to continue to bring in sales and not be able to fulfill the orders that we already have. So if you want to go ahead and make your purchase, I'll make sure you're able to do yours tonight as the last one, if that's what you want to do. But I'm not doing any more sales of the book right now, because we are trying to make sure that we get the first batch already sent out. That's the deal. We're trying to make sure that we get the first batch sent out before we start to get any more orders. You understand me? So that's the plan. So, but I wanted to give you that update because a lot of people have been asking where the physical copies of the books at. So, and that's what we've been dealing with. So I reached out to a couple of people in my network who have written books already, have used various different printer people. So we will be making sure that we tap into that. So what I need you to do is, I need you to follow the Instagram, Brother King Cam. I need you to follow the Facebook. I need you to follow TikTok. I need you to do all of those different things and stay up to date on my social media platforms, because that's where the information and the updates is going to be going out, obviously on the podcast as well on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Or sometimes we do the show at 10 o'clock p.m. But I'll let you know again on social media what time the show will be going on, because we do have the ABS Tribe calls as well on Tuesday. So sometimes I do the show after the calls, so I'm not rushing. So we got some good interviews that's lined up as well. That's coming up on the 18th. We're going to have my brother Rizza Islam in the building on the 18th, family. Brother Rizza's coming to talk to us on the 18th. So you don't want to miss that. He's going to be in the building February. May the 18th, Brother Rizza Islam will be on the show. So I want y'all to stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's what we got going on. So again, if you'd like to donate, family, you can donate to us via Cash App, scrolling across the bottom of the screen right here, or you can send that donation in via PayPal. But we certainly appreciate it. The donate link again. Yes, ma'am. It's right at the bottom. It's scrolling at the bottom. You can donate via Cash App or PayPal. What I want to do, and I think I want to do, maybe y'all can help me out with this real quick. Should the RZA, so when RZA comes on, do y'all want that to be a call-in show where y'all can call in and ask him questions? Let me know in the comment section. Do y'all want that to be a call-in show where you all will be able to call in and ask him questions? I did a call-in show before and nobody called in. Like, it was people watching the show, right? But nobody wanted to call in and speak. So I'm asking you again, do you want this to be a call-in show when Brother RZA comes on, so you'll be able to ask him questions directly? Because we definitely want to offer that if that's what you want to do. I don't want to make a call-in show and then nobody calls in, because that'll be trash. So, okay. Francis said yes. Francis said, yeah. Okay, Giselle, she said yes. Okay. So we're going to make it a call-in show then. All right, we're going to make it a call-in show then, family. So I'm going to let RZA know that we want to make it a call-in show. That people want to ask him some questions directly. And that's how we're going to do it. You know, my brother is always happy to engage and oblige the people. So that's definitely not going to be a problem. I know this time we be ready. Absolutely. Yeah, the last time we did a call-in show, nobody wanted to call in, but it is what it is. So again, I thank you. Thank you for watching, your support, your continued support for what we're doing, and to make sure that we speak truth to power, and that we are teaching our people to do for self. Yeah, Francis, I said Francis. Making sure that we teaching our people to do for self or suffer the consequences, and to make sure that we deliver the truth as taught to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So that's what it's about. Entrepreneurship in the culture, family. It's the Campaign TV show. So I leave you in the greeting words of peace, as we say it in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace.